how long do you think the Western Australian housing boom will last? So I think for one, it probably started around the back of 2020. That's probably where we started to see the upswing. That's when we started purchasing there anyway. We started to see some growth basically immediately in the Perth market. So though we're not buying there now, if we have a look and we just go back to SQM because it's nice and easy for us, 26% year to date, which is crazy. But the rolling month is still up 2.5%. Now, the one thing that is of interest though is the rents are still going up. They've gone up just under 10% in the last 12 months. They were much higher than that. So there's a bit of a decline and drop off happening there in terms of rents are starting to stabilize. I would think a little bit of that has to play with that some of these developers have started to get their builds finished. Essentially, they've been building for the last 12, 24 months in that Perth market, trying to capitalize on that boom. So potentially there is some more rental opportunity opening up in that market. I guess what we're not seeing at the moment, to your question, Robin, is when there's indications of a boom dying down, and I'll pull open something for us here. We'll just go to Perth for now. Let's pull it back open. So if we go into Perth and we just want to have a look at, we'll just say vacancy rates for now. Most of Perth is less than 1% in terms of your vacancy rate. And you're going to have the odd suburb here or there. And I would say most of these ones are just going to have just a little blip data spike when you actually go in there. So you can basically see all of Perth is 1 out of every 100 properties available for rent. So if that was trending upwards and we started to see 1.5, and then we were getting closer to 2, that would be an area of concern. If the rents were starting to just flatline and assuming we still had inflation, or they started to decline, that would also, again, be another area of concern. And the other area of concern would be if we started to see days on market and days of supply creeping up. So if you're speaking to any local agents in Perth at the moment, I had a client out there the other week. He reckons there was about 70 to 80 people that were at an auction in a property over there. It is still a feverishly hot market when you're trying to buy property. So though some of the steam might be starting to pull out of it a little bit, I don't think it is though. If we look at this rolling month average, they're the kind of indicators you want to start monitoring. But population growth for Perth is still really, really strong. Perth has basically got the most healthy economy in terms of a surplus in their cash coffers. So again, a lot of infrastructure also happening through Perth, and a lot more diversified through the mine than just mining than it was previously. So I don't, to answer your question, Robin, I wouldn't think that there's anything to worry about in the next 12 to 24 months. I wouldn't anticipate we're going to have a big collapse like we saw in the big mining collapse of last time, keeping in mind that the economy is far, far, far more diverse than it was last time. Basically, last time when that collapse started, the GDP, which is the gross domestic product of every single industry put together, still was being outperformed by mining. Now, over that period of time, basically all of those industries have tripled, and mining has actually gone on steady decline. So they're well past mining now. So would it have an impact still if there was a mining collapse? Absolutely. There's still a lot of jobs that go through there. Will it have anywhere near as severe of an impact? Absolutely not. You've still got a lot of Perth that are around the replacement building cost. And what I mean by that is the cost to build a property and do the land and do all that kind of stuff is still around that kind of $700,000 price point. So it's not like Perth is a $2 million city, and if it was to race down to the floor, there's a lot of margin and wiggle room there. So yeah, I think we've still got at least another 12 plus months of the steam. But would I be jumping into it right now? Absolutely not. Not unless, I should probably preface that again. There are still some good buying opportunities out there, but if I'm just speaking in a generalized term, I think you're coming into the Perth market late.